Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Friday, July 18th, 2025. Always an eventful day in the 187 city, Washington, D.C. We're going to talk about Trump suing Rupert Murdoch. I need to update my title. When I started, he was threatening to sue. Now he's sued him. Trump threatens to sue, now sued Rupert Murdoch. He also signed the Genius Act today, which shows you again who's really behind the crypto industry, getting people excited about digital currency, which Big Brother just wants so much. Then they can track every last penny. Also today, Robert Luna. Ever since he took over in the LA County Sheriff's Office, it's been nothing but tragedies. It was the Lunar New Year's shooting right after. It was the 4 self-deletions in the same office within days. And now an explosion. And did you guys see Robert Luna's quote in the media today? The cabal knows it's winning, man. They know they are winning to just, oh my. He said that his team has 74 years of experience and they're going to get to the bottom. I was just like, look how they just dropped this Kabbalistic number talk in front of everybody, knowing that the masses still don't have a clue. And by the way, if you watch the stream I did early today, I went off on a tangent about the gematria of ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, and I talked about the 187 and the 227. That was before this story had even happened, before the explosion. I just want you to see how perfect this stuff is, and it's clockwork. I mean, I've talked about this stuff so many times over the years. We'll come back to his 74 years of experience, but again, the Kabbalistic practice of coding numbers into words. Gematria. Freemasonry is based in Kabbalah. Again, gematria is a component of Kabbalah. It's based on the alphabetic order forwards and backwards within English. Ancient. Again, I hate how, Derek, you got to fix your calculator. It's just so dumb how he made this change. It's just the worst change in the history of changes because it looks like you're cheating. Again, if you look up how they write ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry on the House of the Temple, the headquarters for the Scottish Rite in D.C., they write it with an ampersand, right? The problem with what Derek did, Derek updated his calculator a year or so back. And do you see down here how when you take the screenshot, how there's no ampersand down there? He just made it not appear. For the life of me, I have no clue why he did that. Because now if somebody looks at that, they're like, well, where's the and? It's like, well, I put it in there, but Derek's calculator. Anyway, the point is, it equals 187 forwards and 227 in reverse. And look, this is Robert Luna's sheriff's office. Today's 227 days after Robert Luna's birthday. And it's 18th day of 7th month, like 187, like California, known for the 187 homicide code, which, of course, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg made super popular on the song Deep Cover back in the 90s. And if you don't know, Dr. Dre's son, when he died, it was 187 days from Dr. Dre's birthday. Been a lot of 187s with deaths, but yeah, this is a pairing of the ancient and accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Keep in mind, Fraternal Order of Police is also 187. And with regards to 227, it's the 49th prime. Scottish equals 49 like America. Washington also equals 49. 49 is the 33rd composite number. The highest degree of the Scottish Rite is 33. 49, 33rd composite. Police, Masonry, Federal, Secrecy, Order, all 33. I should have put Robert on there. Who's overseeing it? Robert. In the same cipher, Robert 33 like Masonry, like police. So Robert Luna. For the record, Lunar is another one of these 33 words. Right after he became the top sheriff in LA, you had the Lunar New Year Festival shooting, if you can still remember that one, in the United States of Amnesia. But yeah, here's his quote. The victims were not immediately identified, but Sheriff Luna said they had 74 years of collective experience on the force. Come on, man. And then he said between the three of them, it was 19 years, 22 years, and 33 years, respectively. So, those are the three that died. The three that died in the explosion. And the thing about 3 is, remember, this whole 187 code comes from the Torah, which is 187 chapters. It's what it's what Kabbalah is based in, where the whole gematria thing comes from. And you see how Abrahamic's also 56? If you spell out 3, it's 56. There's 3 Abrahamic religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. If they come out in a later story and say one was a Jew, one was a Christian, and one was Muslim, I'd be like, okay, this is going too far. Going too far here. But yeah, Robert Luna, it's just been, in case you guys forgot these other stories, the 4 self-deletions within a number of days in his office. 4 former and current LA Sheriff's employees die by self-deletion in less than 24 hours. It was actually in less than 24 hours. And from, let me see, what was it again? They happened exactly 48 weeks after he was sworn in. Luna has the 48 connection. And it's a reminder that the Lunar New Year Festival shooting happened on his 48th day of being sheriff. The word police is 60. Oh, the first day of the deletions was a date with 60 numerology. That's what else I was showing with the Luna 48 and 60. He's the 34th sheriff of Los Angeles County, and this will tie right in with the whole Epstein thing too, remember, because Epstein equals 34. By the way, today's 34 days after Trump's birthday, as he's suing his buddy Rupert Murdoch. Reminds of Roger Ailes' death the first time around when he became president. For people who don't know, Roger Ailes and Rupert Murdoch are Fox News founders. And of course, Trump's whole administration is pretty much Fox News employees, including Pete Hegseth, who was picked on the Superior General's birthday. But yeah, 34th sheriff of Los Angeles County. The self-deletion word 34, like murder, like Epstein. Epstein, it happened 34 days after he was found guilty. Now here we are, these 6 years later, and it's 34 days after Trump's birthday, and things are hitting a fever pitch. But yeah, there's that. And I suppose before we hit the Trump suit thing of Murdoch, this Genius Act. Trump signed it today. Look at the Gematria Genius Act, you guys. Genius Act. Do you see the 144 and 54 like Jesuit order? 144 and 54. It also had the 36 IHS, their acronym. The Jesuit order's logo has the letters IHS in it for Isus Hominum Salvator. It also has the 45 like Jesuit educated Trump. Of course, was number 45 the first time around. Called president-elect on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall, which equals 45. But yeah, today is 18/7, Society of Jesus 187. We're going to come back to that in a big way here with what they're doing with Rupert Murdoch and what I think they're paying tribute to, because once upon a time, Murdoch, they were comparing a scandal he was involved into to Watergate. And I'm going to show you where all of this seems to fit together, because, of course, Watergate caused a Republican president to have to resign by the numbers. And he was replaced. That was Richard Nixon, Tricky Dicky, replaced with Gerald Ford. But notice, Epstein, again, he's got that January 20th birthday, the 201st day of the nation's age, Inauguration Day. He would have turned 72 this year on Inauguration Day. And, of course, President Trump equals 72, just like President Biden, who he replaced on that day. Both Jesuit-educated men. Of course, Jesuit order equates to 72. And look at Rupert Murdoch, who he's now suing over the ongoing saga. Rupert Murdoch, 72, forwards and backwards, both ways, double 72. And again, Watergate happened in 72, and it led to the resignation of Richard Nixon. The word resign is 72. We've seen some resign rituals over the year with 72. And go back to July 2011, 14 years ago. Again, there was, you can go back and read about this story. It was faintly in my mind. I was like, well, there's about Murdoch and Watergate too. Had to look it up. Yeah, there was the Rupert Murdoch like Watergate scandal. And you can see why they contrived this, right? I mean, because his name literally equals 72, like the year of the scandal. And the Watergate scandal was now 53 years ago. We just passed the 53rd anniversary. Watergate does equal 53. That's a number associated with the feminine, too. And again, you just think of, women obviously involved in the Epstein saga. Water, we're in the time of Cancer, a water sign. Epstein Island, obviously islands are surrounded by water. You think about sex in general, obviously water is involved, especially if you make a baby and then the water breaks. But, the whole wet thing. Watergate, the other way, is 37. Of course, it led to the demise of number 37, Tricky Dicky, in 74. Of course, Richard Nixon equals 74. If you've never seen my work on Gerald Ford and Richard Nixon, it was all by the numbers. Gerald Ford changed his name to that, and his new name was perfect with the ritual of him becoming president of the United States. And don't forget the other year when Trump picked Kavanaugh, and he had to go against the accuser who said she suffered sexual assault from Kavanaugh. Her name was Christine Blasey Ford, and it had all the same numbers as Gerald Ford replacing Richard Nixon. It covered all that years ago. Of course, Kavanaugh went to Georgetown Prep, one of the many Jesuit-educated Supreme Court justices. But yeah, today is also 34 days after Trump's birthday. And again, Epstein supposedly deleted himself 34 days after being found guilty. And don't forget, Epstein was also arrested on the day leaving 187 days left in the year, July 6th. Because here we are now on 18/7. But yeah, again, just Epstein, murder, self-deletion, we're at all 34. Robert Luna, 34th, Sheriff of LA. Now, something else stood out to me. If this is going to end up in the demise of Trump, that, eventually some stuff's going to come out, and it's going to turn out that Trump was one of the creepers hanging out with Epstein, which should already be obvious to everyone. That's why I don't understand why his whole base is all upset about this. I never mind it. They're all really dumb, aren't they? They thought he was a white hat and he was going to save the world from the traffickers when he was the guy. Again, they should have seen that this wasn't the case, since he's the guy that makes sexual advances towards 10-year-olds and has sexual feelings for his own daughter. And I know it's all political theater, but I mean, the tape of him talking to the nephew of the last Republican president before he took office, Billy Bush, about, that he can just grab women by the pussy, and then all the suits from women. And I get that it's all political theater, but it's like, I don't know why you would think this would be the guy to bring justice in the realm of sexual abuse when he completely appears to be I guess what you would call, for lack of a better term, a sexual deviant at the least. But anyway, Trump had just turned 26 years old when Watergate happened. And as we know, 26 is a magic number. Notice that today is the 351st day of JD Vance's age, which is the 26 triangular number. And hold on, is Teddy, wait a minute, was Teddy Roosevelt, who's the 26th president? Hold on. Yeah, it was Teddy Roosevelt. I thought so. I was way before my time, but see, you guys, I can't believe it. I can't believe it took me this long to dawn. But then again, I've only slept like 3 hours in the last 2 days. Remember, JD Vance is the youngest VP nominee since Teddy Roosevelt. The youngest VP nominee. By the way, if you're following today's story, the word is body. Body's the word attached to this story. I had to look up what that word means. I'm not going to lie. It means dealing with sexual matters in a comical way. If you haven't followed the headlines, body's the word in all the headlines. But okay, JD Vance is the youngest VP nominee since Teddy Roosevelt, who replaced McKinley, the 25th president, who was assassinated. And then remember, Teddy Roosevelt was shot himself, but survived in Milwaukee, where JD Vance was the VP nominee about a year ago. Hold up. What, was it July 15th? Are we a year and a day? When was JD Vance made the VP nominee? Yeah, it was a year and a day ago. Or wait, hold on. That's a year and 3 days ago. Year and 3 days ago, July 15th. Like I said, man, I haven't got a lot of sleep here. Even without sleep, gematria is still simple, you guys. Anybody can do this. I don't know why people struggle with this so much. It's elementary. But yeah, look at that. Look at how it all lines up. Look at how we've been talking about this narrative for a long time, man. It's getting better. It's getting better. And today's 18/7. Richard Nixon, one of those guys in D.C. with the 187 name, just like Washington, D.C., like Society of Jesus. And remember, Jesus equals 74, as does Jesus Christ, as does Richard Nixon, who got the boot by the numbers in 74. And you remember what day Richard Nixon got the boot, right? August 9th, the day leaving 144 days left in the year, like Jesuit Orders 144, like Genius Act. What's that? When you show that you understand the knowledge of gematria? Anyway, the United States of America, of course, is also 144. Who runs it? Today would be the 191st day of Tricky Dicky's age. Society of Jesus, 191 forwards, 187 in reverse. He died on the 112th day of the year, like the Jesuits operate in 112 countries. Today's 88 days from his death anniversary. Trump 88, like Epstein. Richard Nixon in the base ciphers, just remind you, it's also remember, Washington, D.C. is 137 and 187 in the same ciphers as Richard Nixon, 74 like Masonic, like George Washington. George Washington's got the 74 and the 88. And remember, there's a mural in D.C. that makes George Washington look like Jesus Christ, and there's also an open tomb in that building, like there's one for Jesus Christ, and they both got the 74 connection. And the 70 is also interesting because today has 70-date numerology. And Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon's the other big half of this story today. He's making waves. He's saying MAGA's got Trump's back. This is actually unifying for Trump. And notice, from Bannon's birthday, another Jesuit-educated guy, to today is 233 days. Wall Street Journal is who Trump is suing now. And Rupert Murdoch's full name is Keith Rupert Murdoch, 233. And if you're new here, that's the 13th Fibonacci number. Obviously a special number for a lot of reasons, but it's also the 51st prime, like conspiracy and federal are 51. And that's what people need to learn. The federal government is a conspiracy every day. It's not a theory. It's a fact. And, you know, just for the record about Rupert Murdoch, mainstream news guy. Mainstream, of course, has the 113 connection, like his 11/3 birthday. News Corp 113. You know, the official title for the Cooties pandemic is 113, and that's the day it was declared. It would have been declared on his 89th birthday, huh? I wonder how central he was in it, since he owns like half the papers in the country. I never explored the angle of Rupert Murdoch in the Cooties. Interesting. But yeah, every headline uses body. Donald Trump has filed a lawsuit against media tycoon Rupert Murdoch after his newspaper, The Wall Street Journal, reports allegations that Trump's name appeared on a body 2003 birthday card to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The U.S. president says that the story is false, malicious, and defamatory. Trump earlier asked for the release of court documents relating to Epstein. This timeline explains how we got here. His attorney general, Pam Bondi, said they were ready to unseal grand jury transcripts on Friday, but it could take some time for a judge to release the documents. During his presidential campaign, Trump promised to release files relating to Epstein and his face mounting pressure from his own supporters to share new information. Remember, he was going to do something about the inflation day one. He was going to end the war in Ukraine day one. He was going to end the war in Israel day one. He's going to get everything great day one. Not a damn thing's been done. Not one damn thing that actually matters. And just for the record, Body's got that perfect overlap with Satan, like Mega's the highest degree of the Church of Satan. And that's the kind of stuff you do when you're satanic. You know, you just sacrifice your friends like you're LeBron James. Talking about this post is from May 18th, 2017, the day the news broke. On the 119th day of the chump being in office, and of course now he's taken office with the 119th Congress this time around, but I remember he has the ad for CERTA years before he became president the first time, talking to sheep 11-9. The election called for him on 11-9, but on the 119th day of being in office, Roger Ailes, his Fox News buddy, died. And remember, they put out a show with, what's the actor who played Gladiator? Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe did I believe it was on Showtime, show of Roger Ailes, and they get into this, and it was Roger Ailes who was supposedly pushing Trump to run for president. Of course, he dies at 77, not an arbitrary number. The capital's on the 77th meridian. United States equals 77. But look at all this with the death of Ailes. May 18th is the 138th day of the year. Trump's got the new lady syndrome, CVI, which equals, the official name equals 138. The acronym is 47. He just had the ritual with James Comey's daughter, big 138 ritual. A lot of 138 rituals, but again, Roger Ailes died on the 138th day of the year, shortly after Trump took office, and on a date, 18th of May, that can be written 18/5. And the most simple cipher, Donald Trump and Donald John Trump both equal 185. You guys can see the way Derek's calculator used to be arranged this way. Of course, federal also 138. May 18th leaves 227 days in the year, the 49th prime. Well. Now here we are on the other half of that, the 187 day, right? And Ailes' buddy's getting sued by Trump. Roger Ailes has that 62-like sacrifice. And remember, Roger Ailes, the whole story is that you know, he was abusive to women too. In that show with Russell Crowe. So sorry, so that just cut to my mind. I remember I was watching that show on my birthday one of the years. It's the only time my sweet lady ever got me cake and ice cream for my birthday. I was watching fat Russell Crowe and getting fat on my birthday, eating some cake and ice cream. Anyway, yeah, yeah. Just a little reminder about the kind of rituals that have brought the chump to where he now is. The many ritual sacrifices connected to this man's name and his legacy that the blind sheep are believing in so much. I mean, just you guys look at all the supposed Christians out there that think this guy is some God sent when he's literally running on the highest degree of the Church of Satan, just piling up bodies left and right around him, lying to you every day like Satan's the father of lies in the Bible. So these religious types, man, they've never really impressed me much. I've always thought these are some of the blindest, dumbest people I've ever seen in my life. And that's not to say I haven't met some good Christians, but the vast majority I've ever known, terrible people, including the one who I helped out, who came back and robbed my house. So, you know what? I got to go get Sweet Girl in 15 minutes. Why don't I just open up the phone line here and you guys can close it out. We'll do the last 15 minutes with some calls. Okay, if you guys want to phone it, it is that 509 number on the screen, 509-560-4982. And while we wait on the call, I just want to read a little bit about the Genius Act, further proof that crypto is definitely a Jesuit-controlled enterprise. I mean, it's right in the word cryptocurrency for the record. See that big fat 78? Just like Jesuit. Like the crypto markets boom when Trump takes office at 78. Because it is that rigged. Trump vows to make U.S. crypto capital of the planet. You know that one's going to get the flat earthers hot. Crypto capital of the plane, he means. It's a plane. Crypto capital of the planet. 281, 60th prime. Boom. Another 60 for the chump. Again, this was the 60th election. Sacrificed his ex-wife in the big 60 ritual. Been a lot of 60s going on with chump. Jeez, what's going on here? Passed by a 308 on the 38th parallel to 122. Was that a difference of 186? Man, I'm surprised they didn't. Maybe I guess it just couldn't be done. The 187, the math. All right, they could have had one less vote. Huh? I'm surprised they didn't go that way. President Donald Trump signed into law the Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins. So that's what Genius stands for. Okay, let's check that out. 331, 67th prime. I see the big fat 880 like Trump. It's probably not an accident to research some of these bigger numbers. A landmark piece of legislation that establishes federal regulations surrounding digital currency. Man, I remember these crypto guys once upon a time. They just thought, no, this is the thing that's going to, beat the government fiat currency. And now you see how it's just getting sucked in and all becoming part of the machine, just like I told you it was from day one. Bitcoin, 72. How many Bitcoin rituals we nailed? It just eclipsed into 117 for the first time on the 11th of July. If you missed that video, you better go back and check it out. Bitcoin, 72 like money. Like Jesuit order. Like Jesus sending out the 72 disciples. Like 72 names of God in Kabbalah. Like 72 demons in the Goetia. Like all the 72s we started with. All right. Ahead of signing the bill, Trump recalled how he previously vowed to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the planet during a keynote address during a Bitcoin conference in Nashville, Tennessee in July of 2024. Okay. I pledge that we would bring back American liberty and leadership and make hey, how are you more liberated than when the government can spy on every last transaction and every last penny you do anything with? What's more liberating than that? This is Orwellian shit. And don't forget how 1984 became the highest selling book just out of nowhere the first week that Trump took office. Old video on that too. Okay. Okay, but I see it's about federal regulation, and that could be very good for the crypto market because people will see it as more legitimate. People who haven't wanted to invest at this point will be like, "All right, time to get in. Time to get in." What's this say down here? The House passed the Genius Act Thursday, 308-122, after the measure cleared the Senate in June by a 68-30 margin. Remember, CIA 68. If you missed what I just talked about with Bitcoin on July 11th, there was a lot of 68 in the ritual. Donald John Trump 68, like CIA. Yeah. Another thing I should talk about is there's flash flooding warnings like all across the nation today. And today's the 199th day of the year, which is the 46th prime number. Remember, we just talked about this. Flash flood equals 46. Flooding equals 46. Flash flood warnings all across the nation. All the areas, the green's lesser risk, yellow's greater risk, red is severe risk. And it looks like up near the nation's capital again has the greatest chance. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of real estate under flash flood warning on the 199th day of the year. And remember that other storm that's coming up from the Gulf is supposed to get somewhere along the Gulf this weekend, and we're coming up on July 20th. July 20th, 201st day of the year, also a date with 52 numerology. Weather control 201, flood 52. Two deadly numbers when it comes to bizarre weather and severe property damage, which is only good for central bankers and real estate tycoons who can come in and get your property for pennies on the dollar. So, all right, I don't see anybody calling in. Did I not open up the phone line right? Let me see. Did I not get it right here? Oh, snap. I didn't. I forgot one step. If you guys were trying to call in and you didn't, the line is back open. It will work now. The 509 number, that was my bad. That's the sleep deprivation right there. But yeah, I do got to go get Sweet Girl in less than 10 minutes, 9 minutes. So if you want to call in and add to the stream, now is the time. I see we had one super chatter. Thank you so much. Shout out to Leslie. Thank you again, Leslie. Just want to give thanks right back to you. She chipped in 14 Canadian, breaks down to 1020 US. What's up, 917?
Hello?
Hello.
Exactly. You know, I try to look for stuff that you haven't covered or you didn't catch yet. So did you know that Timothy Leary, his CIA code name, do you know what it is?
Timothy Leary's CIA name? I don't know.
His name is Charlie Thrust, and it equals 201.
Charlie Thrust?
Yeah, and it equals 201.
Charlie Thrust, huh?
Yeah, I thought I looked for it. Like I tried to see like in your website, but I didn't see you covered it. So I wanted to make sure though. Yeah, Charlie Thrust. THRUSH. Charlie Thrush.
Oh, Thrush. Charlie Thrush.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Charlie Thrush, this was the FBI's code name for Timothy Leary. This was revealed in a 74 news conference where Allen Ginsberg, Ram Dass, and Leary's son Jack publicly criticized him. Okay. Yeah, I didn't
catch that 74 before. Yeah, wow. I didn't catch the 74.
There's a lot of, it's got the 69 too, 150 Illuminati numbers too. So yeah, interesting. You know, I still got, I used to use the Timothy Leary quote in my radio show. Think for yourself, question authority. So anyway.
Yeah, you know, he was big on mushrooms and MK Ultra and all that.
Yeah, I'm big on mushrooms too. I feel like everybody should have the right dose of magic mushrooms. It is a very positive experience when done correctly.
It's crazy that he went to Holy Cross. He went through the whole thing. He went to Holy Cross. He went to Harvard. He went to Georgetown. I think he was stationed in Butler, Pennsylvania too.
Is that right?
Stationed in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Is that right?
Yeah. So that a little mind control thing going on there.
He even went to Washington State University. He even went to WSU, huh? Crazy.
Yeah, he went to a couple schools. Yeah. But, yeah, I just wanted to throw that another 201 out there. I don't remember anyone bringing that up. I looked through all the.
No, I didn't know that.
Catch it,
I didn't. I'm gonna have to do some more research on Timothy Leary. I think he's my favorite 201 Jesuit though of all time, easily far and away right now. So, okay.
So yeah.
Look at what age he. Hold up. Look at what age he died at. Charlie Thrush, 75, dead at 75.
I think he died 206 days from his birthday. It was a span from his birthday to the day of his death.
221.
George Gematria.
Or it would have been a leap year. So, yeah, 222 days after his birthday or the 223rd day of his age. Yeah.
123rd. I thought it was 206 days. It was, I meant it 206 from the, it was, I don't know.
Well, May 31st is the 152nd day of a leap year. And he's born on the day leaving 70 days left in the year. So that's got to be 222 later or the 223rd day of his age.
All right. Yeah. That book, I'm waiting for that 201 book, Zach. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, if I do it, we'll have to add in Timothy Thrush. All right. Good one.
All right. Thanks a lot, Zach.
I appreciate it. All right, I got time for one more call. Here it is. Wait, also 917? Crazy. What's up, 917? Hello? Is it the same 917?
Yeah, hello?
Did you call back?
No, it's a different guy.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I was just calling to see if I can add into your live stream real quick.
Of course.
Yeah, so I wanted to promote this new YouTube channel that got super popular. It kind of blew up overnight, within maybe the last, I'd say, month or so. It blew up on, I think maybe.
Are you contributing to my stream or calling in to plug somebody else? So what are you contributing?
No, this is for you to add on to your show. You can look forward to it later on. Add it to your show. I don't know if you will look into it later, but he pretty much breaks down like the whole war. He pretty much discusses geopolitics. So just take a look at his channel, and then it's for anybody that ever calls in and they want to ask questions like, why are these people doing these things? He gives a background of like just the whole idea of game theory.
Who are we talking about? Who?
I'm gonna give you his YouTube right now. His channel is called. No, it's great. He gives out great information. It's like super positive.
I'm sorry, man. I got to move on. Does anybody want to call in and close this out right? It shouldn't be that hard to, I mean, come on, man. Call in and say what you're trying to say. If I say, who is it? Don't say, I'm going to get to that right now. Just answer, this is the name of the channel. And then not 15 more words without saying the answer. I'm sorry. I'm moving on. God. Does anybody want to call in so we don't have to end with that call? That was the worst. What's up, great
Hello?
observations in LA? What's up, man?
Hey, yeah, you definitely gotta go see that Eddington movie.
That's right. That's right. The movie. Come on, man. Have you seen it already?
I did. I saw it yesterday. I'm gonna go take another one of my friends to see it today. Who's always denied this shit.
Before I get tell me about it. Tell me about the movie. Spoil it all for me right now.
So it's probably like maybe like 5 or 10 minutes into the movie. So Austin Butler plays the conspiracy archetype. Emma Stone plays the sheriff's wife who runs off with the conspiracy guy. Joaquin Phoenix plays the sheriff who's running against the liberal mayor. They play on all these different archetypes. But it's a few minutes into the movie, or like 5 or 10 minutes into the movie, where the sheriff comes home and he hears his mother-in-law and his wife listening to someone who sounds exactly like you. They're literally using at least an entire minute of your exact dialogue, word for word. They even mentioned how Newsom was Jesuit educated and all
You can tell the clip in the trailer
obviously.
is literally ripping off something I said in one of my videos word for word, because it's exactly how I phrase things. And yeah, it's crazy. I got to go back through my
you
videos.
Hear that full audio in the movie.
Yeah. All right. So it's right at the beginning of the movie too.
In the movie.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think more, but it plays on all these different themes and the shift in society. And most people that go and watch the movie, because people go and watch the movie for entertainment, not for like thought-provoking films and shit. But most people that are going to watch it are going to be like, oh, this film is too long and drawn out, and it seems like they're just tacking on a whole bunch of different topics just so they can say they covered it. Which, yeah, I get that if you're just looking at it as a moviegoer. But it really plays on the big shift in society. That's the point of the movie, is the shift. Like in just the way people interact, the way young people in relationships interact, like, and this whole push towards technology. And but just the fucking way they quote you is just, and then get this. After I walked out of the movie, I asked a couple guys that were my age. I was like, hey, what did you guys think of the movie? And they were like, oh, yeah, it was interesting. Weird movie. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, you guys ever hear, like, what they were talking about at the beginning? Like that gematria stuff and, what they were saying with all the 56s. And then as I started to explain, like was barely even explaining. I was just like, there's this thing where they use ciphers, ABC 1, 2, 3, and that's what they're talking about. And as soon as I started talking, it's like they all just like gave me a blank stare.
Yeah.
One guy was listening, but then the other guys were just like, all right, later.
Yeah.
Like all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, it is how it is, man.
But
these are the Walking Dead. All right. Well.
Yeah, but check your text though.
I will do that.
All right.
All right. Thanks, man. Take care.
Bye.
See it. All right, 917, were you not trolling me? Were you trolling? Hello?
Hello?
Were you trolling?
Bro, I'm not trolling. I'm trying to give out good information.
So what's the channel? What's the channel?
Just I'm not plugging any channel. His channel's called Predictive History. It's a Chinese professor. He just he blew up on YouTube. He blew up on Twitter because he predicted the whole war in Ukraine and all the wars, whatever. So he just breaks down an idea called game theory. If anybody wants to look into why these people are doing these things, that's the channel to look at. It's good information. He pretty much talks about everything he talks about, without the numbers. It's a good channel. If anybody wants to look into it, you can look into it, I see you promoting a bunch of whack channels on your streams all the time. This is actually a good channel that giving out good information. You can actually use it, apply it to your information. It's called Game Theory. He breaks down everything. His last three videos are incredible. It's good information. I wanted to ask you about one of the guys he brought up was Isaac Newton. I never heard you talk about Isaac Newton. He talks about how Isaac Newton back in the day was a big theologian. People can attribute him to other things, but that was mainly what he was about. So no, I'm not trolling. I'm just trying to give out good information for two people who want to look into new information. So
okay, you were just taking a long time to give out the channel, and we do get a lot of trolls that call in. It seems
I apologize.
All right, Predictive History. I got him up here. Appreciate for you sharing that with me. I don't get sweet girl, man, but thank you. You have a good day.
No problem. All right, take care. All right.
You just never know, man. I get a lot of trolls that call in. It sounded sus when he was calling in, but I don't know that comment though about I promote a lot of whack channels. I let people call in and promote channels. I'm not. I share information. I'm not gatekeeping nothing. Predictive history if you guys want to check it out. And yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the Eddington. I see it is actually playing out here. Man, I'm pretty sure if I went and tried to watch a movie though, I'd fall asleep right now. I might have to figure out a way to I gotta see it. The full quote right at the beginning. Yeah, again, from the scam being declared to this movie's release is 1,956 days, and it begins with yours truly's quote about all the things that went down in 1956 connected. So, you know that's not an accident. And they did drop it 3 days before my birthday too, because it's funny. It's weird how it works out like that, because of course the other big part of that 1956 is 42, and that's what I'm about to turn in 3 days. So, anyway. We'll leave it there for now. I don't get sweet girl. Thanks again to everyone who hits the like and the share. Thank you to everyone who supports the work. And, you know, maybe we can get a video somehow between now and my birthday up to 10,000 views. That would seem like quite the milestone. Once upon a time, 10,000 views came in 30 minutes or less. Now it seems like an impossible milestone. Can we get a video to 10K views? Thanks again to everyone who does leave a comment and a like. You guys are the ones helping out the most. I do appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, and until next time.